Most people don't set very big goals, and then they wonder why their life never changes incrementally year after year, and why it pretty much stays the same. It all starts with the goals that you set. And my heart and my passion for you as you go towards 2026 is that you would say that this would be the year of great change for you and huge growth, that by the end of 2026 you would look back at your life and go, wow, I grew so much, I changed so much. The stresses I had back then don't exist anymore. But it all starts with the goals you set and the vision that you cast today. I've found in my own life with the setting of 3-word goals that if we choose to believe in something impossible, if we choose to go after something that's almost out of reach, then our emotions, our belief, our confidence rises as we stretch and walk and take action towards those goals, and truly impossible things become possible, but only for those who believe and only for those who take action. And so let's go after these dreams together. And what I want you to understand is our whole 3-word gold methodology has been built around real results and real change, both in me and now in other people, where we use 3 words to absolutely clarify what we want in very specific areas of our life. And those are big, bold, beautiful things that if we reach them, our life will be truly different, truly changed, truly transformed, truly amazing. And so let's say no to half measures. Let's say no to our glass half full. Let's say no to dreaming a little bit, and let's go all in on our lives and all in on our dreams and all in our goals and make incredible things happen. It starts with the dream. It starts with the bold goal, and then we break it down and show you exactly how to achieve it. If you want to come to our 3-word goal masterclass, or if you want information on our 3-word goals ecosystem type goals, underneath this video, I can't wait to share more. It's changed my life. I've lost so much weight. I've got such better health. I'm a far better dad. My business is growing, all because I dared to believe. And you can have the same change in your life too. This is the mountain, and there are 3 levels to climbing the mountain. And there are 3 levels to goal setting here. So these are the 3 levels, and it's rarefied air up here. And I want you to climb to the top of your mountain. So this is the upper level here. The upper level of goal setting is right here. This is the hard graft. This is the part in between. This is the process. This is level 2. We'll get into that. And so this is where the mountain is at its steepest and the most difficult. And then right at the bottom here, we have the start of the journey, and this is level 1. And so I just want to talk about these 3 levels here today. With goal setting, we start from the top and we work down. Level 1, level 2, level 3. And so the top of the mountain is important because the top of the mountain is what your goal is. You won't climb the mountain unless you wonder what it's like at the top. And so at the top of the mountain, this is what we call those big dream goals. What would absolutely change your life? And I want you to think about this. What would change your life? And again, type goals if you want to come to our masterclass. We've got AI tools. We've got a bunch of techniques and frameworks that will help you do this. But what would change your life? What would be a life-changing transformation in terms of your body, in terms of your business, in terms of your relationships, in terms of your reputation? Like, if you were known as X, how would your life change? What would happen if you could grow your creativity? There's a couple more here too. Fun. If you could have so much fun next year, what would change in your finances? Okay. And so we want to set goals, mountaintop goals, big goals. Man, if I could just do this with my body, it would be incredible. People say it's not possible, but what if it was? If I could grow this kind of business, the perfect business for me, what would be a mountaintop experience? If I could have these kinds of relationships, that would be incredible. If I could be known as this, that would be amazing. If my money looked like that by the end of next year, if I had this much fun, if I was X times creative or wrote that book or did that thing, my life would be utterly changed. And I'm only interested in mountaintops that change lives. I'm not interested in you climbing the hill behind the back of your house that 1 million people have climbed, unless you're 95 years old and a 95-year-old has never climbed it. And so we set 3-word goals, targets, destinations, mountaintops, in all of those dimensions. It used to infuriate me no end, this notion that a child in a war-torn country could imagine a sandwich or imagine an item of food, and eventually that sandwich would be manifested, would be delivered, would come to them, that simply by prayer or belief, this sandwich would fall upon their lap. And as a child, I knew that this was not the case. I knew that this didn't happen in this way because I'd seen the statistics of children dying in war-torn countries where famine was a really big problem. And I knew what it was like to be hungry, and I knew that it was normally an adult or somebody or myself having to go ask that would bring me that item of food. And I want you to understand it's the same with your goals. Don't fall into thinking if you just put it on your vision wall, if you just think about it enough. And I want you to think about it, and I want you to see it, and I want you to put it on your vision board, but don't think that's where it stops. That is just vision casting that gives you some juice and some momentum, but by February or March, you've started to lose the energy towards that goal. You wouldn't try and climb the highest mountain in the world without having a backpack full of resources and food and maybe even some oxygen to get up the mountain. You wouldn't try and climb the highest mountain in the world without actively planning out the route that you were going to take up that mountain. And it's the same with you and your goals. We want level 1 goals, highly aspirational, exciting, life-changing, emotional things. But we also want to dig deep and go underneath there and go, what's the plan or what's the route? And we create measurable 3-word goals to help you do that. Let's jump in and have a look. All right. So you remember we talked about those macro goals. These tend to be emotional, and these tend to be very practical and very honest. This is a steep road to climb. It must be, because if it was easy, you would have done it already. And the great thing about life is that when we do things we haven't done before, we grow and we get stronger. So when it comes to level 2 goals, we call those measurables. And it's probably for me just to share one of my high level goals, which is to be fittest at 50. The fittest, strongest and fastest I've ever been in my life at 50 years of age. Some people, recently Jared, thank you, told me that's impossible. It's not impossible. It's very difficult. I know it's not impossible because I'm almost there. And so when it comes to creating these level 2 measurable goals, what we're looking at saying is for me to be the fittest at 50, and maybe yours is a financial goal. You'll have lots of different goals when you work with us, type goals. This is an ecosystem which will utterly change your life with AI tools and everything. But we're asking what must be true, or what must I have achieved to reach that goal of being the fittest I've ever been at 50? Clearly, I have to be fitter than I've ever been in my life if I'm going to be the fittest at 50. And once I ran 1,500 meters, nearly a mile, in 4 minutes and 40 seconds. So to be the fittest I've ever been at 50, the mountain I must climb is I must beat that time. Or I must be able to bench. It was 105. I'm already there. I'm at 107. But I set 125 kilos. So 277 pounds, right? Or I must be able to squat 330 pounds, right? We know that if I achieve these goals here, if I can pull this off, squat that, bench that, run that, I have achieved my goal. I have climbed the mountain. Sometimes our measurable goals are more like process-driven goals. And so, for example, for a financial goal, it could be, I need to get 25 clients. And then you say, that's 2 to 3 a month. And if I get 2 to 3 clients a month for 12 months, will I make that money? And you have to answer yes or no. And so we have to calculate the process goals. So 25 clients is a 3-word goal. So what we're essentially doing is we are mapping the route up the highest part of the mountain, because you've still got to climb, when you get here. You're not quite at the summit, but you'll never get up the mountain unless you achieve those measurables. That's the hard part. That's the part you must overcome if you're going to climb the mountain. Anyone can do this part, and most people can do this part. The time has come to stop playing small and saying, I just want one goal here or one goal there, and living a half-assed, half-measured life. The time has come for you to say, the world is crazy. There is so much chaos. It's time for me to be fully me, because the biggest gift that you can give the world is yourself fully alive. The biggest way to change the trajectory of your family's life is for you to be fully alive. There really is no other way. Stop waiting for other things to happen. Start committing to yourself. This is the way that it will happen. And what I want you to understand is, yes, you need that big aspirational goal in lots of different areas of your life, and you need to stretch for it, see it, go for it. Yes, you need to know, this is my plan, this is how I'm going to get there. But then you also need one other thing. You need to start walking. You need to start taking action. And that action must start happening today. And so as we look at level 3, what we're looking at is task allocation. We're looking at small micro goals, things that get you moving, progress goals that get you moving towards your bigger goal. So we've talked about level 1 and we've talked about level 2. Understanding that level 1 are those macro goals, those emotional goals. This is really your ideal life. This is you at your finest. This is you at your most powerful. This is you as you're supposed to be. This is you saying yes to the human being that you know you could be. This is amazing. This is like rebirth for a lot of people when they do our training. This is very exciting. This is very energizing. This is reality, and this is the journey, and this is full of growth. This is so important. This is so amazing. This is so hard. This is so wonderful. That's level 2. And level 3, as I just mentioned, that's motion. That's getting started. And so if you think, for an example, any goal, what we want to understand is that not all goals are linear. And so you have a big goal, you have now, and you have mountain. And we know that mountains don't exist like this. This is a slope. This is not a mountain, right? A mountain is like this, maybe. And so what we understand is our progress here is going to be very fast. And our progress here is going to be fast. But our progress between here and here is going to be very slow. And it's going to be medium here, for example. And whether your goal is financial or relational, etc. Sometimes it's easy to get momentum at the start. Sometimes it's hard. It depends on the goal. And so together what we need to do is break your big goal down into increments. And if I think about my 1500 meter time, it's really easy to make progress at the start because I'm so slow. And so I could whack a minute off in the first month. And then maybe it's 45 seconds after that. And then maybe it's 30 seconds. And then maybe it's 15 seconds. And maybe it's 10 seconds. And maybe it's 5 seconds. And then maybe the last month, I'm just trying to get 2 to 3 seconds faster. The value of this is what gets you started in the beginning for your goal is different. Here it's just like running a bit, right? Here might be new shoes. Like the action that you take to reach your next level is different. Here might be friends who support me, friends who cheer, right? And so everything, when it comes to chasing your goal, we're mapping out the whole journey to the mountaintop, and we're saying, what's my action here for this month? What are my tasks? And we have a 3-word goal creator and sticky note system that you apply so that you know that every day you're taking actions to get you to the mountain. Actions, not distractions. And the trouble with a life that's not led by goals is that distractions overpower actions. And when distractions overpower actions, you end up doing things that were not destined for you. And so we stay very close to our goals within the 3-word goal ecosystem by having progress steps along the way. Because if all you do is just keep walking, You will climb the mountain, I promise. If all you do is stay focused, but we got to keep you moving, and the action is different at different points in the journey. Again, clarity helps you achieve, not discipline, not momentum, clarity. In our system, as you'll see if you join our ecosystem or come to our masterclass, gives you way more clarity than you could imagine possible. If you want clarity, if you want to reach your goals, if you're sick of being at the bottom of the mountain and you go, I need to be at the top of my life matters, then type goals underneath this video and I'll take you through the next step. I used to think that the greatest gift I could give to my children was to sacrifice my life for them, or to just be present for them. And actually now I see it quite differently. I almost feel like I need to apologize to them, because for a good portion or good few years, what they saw was a father who was less alive, less engaged, fatter, unfit, trying hard, being as good as he could, but I wasn't a great example of a fully alive human being. The greatest gift you can give the people around you is a full commitment to living the biggest life that you can live. And whether you're 65, 25, 15, 45, there are goals for you. There are mountains for you to climb. There are things for you to overcome. There's fun for you to have. There's a life for you to live. There's transformation for you to grab a hold of. And it's the best life. The alternative isn't attractive. The alternative doesn't see anybody winning. It sees everybody staying the same. And my invitation to you at the end of this video is to type the word goals underneath this video, and we will have a conversation to see if you're right to go on this journey together. And yes, there's an investment involved. Yes, it's pretty reasonable. But the great thing about that is when you buy a plane ticket, you very seldom don't go on that trip, right? Because you've invested in the ticket. And for the price of a plane ticket to a good destination, you can utterly transform your life. With our 3-word goals ecosystem, you can climb incredible mountains. And I'm just not convinced that anybody will climb it without the kind of system that we've created. So please type goals. We'll have a conversation. I'll share the itinerary. And if you wish to do it, then we'll go ahead and we'll go on this remarkable journey together.